gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? It's time for the final countdown. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's rock.
Let's see here. Let me get myself together. Damn. Come on, Envy. Get it together. Yo. Oh, damn, my collar's jacked up. Oof. Jesus. Rough day. Hey, Shado, you always come here on that craziness. What's good? Jatau, Chiefess, how you doing? I finally know how to pronounce your name. So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna do one of my content videos, right? Hey Puff, how you doing? We're gonna do one of my content videos, and it's all about cash apps. And the thing is, an episode like this, yeah, for sure. On Tuesdays, usually I go out there and holler or whatever. Wild Irish Rose, I call it like pre teleport Tuesdays. But today, I kind of want to get this out because it's brand new news, and it really affects all of us about our cash apps, right? The accounts are getting frozen just like that. You can literally look in your cash app one day, and then all of a sudden, boom. Let's see. Whoa, I forgot to set my goal. 1 second, y'all. I hate all these new Jesus. All right, let me set my goal. Damn it, man. Hold up. All right, hold up. We need 5 super chats. Uh y'all gonna I'll give y'all plenty of time to do it. Okay. And it's gonna be host A Q and A. All right, cool. All right. There we go. All right. Typically I don't do that. All right, let me get this shit off of the screen. Okay. All right. So NY, what's good? NY, let me hook you up real quick. Let's see. Welcome to Gang Gang. Let me get that done. A little house cleaning, y'all. My bad. Let's see here. Hold on. NY. Okay. Okay, cool. You should be good. All right. Anyway, I'm going to talk about like cash apps getting frozen. I'm going to try to do some visual aids, but what that's going to go into is it's also going to talk about why. The why is Doge is starting to really crack down on politicians, like being senators, House representatives, or whatnot, on everything that they're doing, money laundering, insider trading, whatever. So, what they're really trying to do, like with Tesla and whatnot, they're trying to deflect to us little guys. And the first people that they're actually going after is YouTubers, and they're going after our cash apps. I think as I was doing my research, I think I found like 8 or 9 people that this happened to. And when I say like it happens, it literally just happens like that. You look in your cash app, you're like, oh damn. Then I'm gonna go absolutely to NY. Then we're gonna go into Adam 22, right? Well, audits as well, but we're going to go right into Adam 22. The Adam 22 thing is going to be quick. I'm really going to talk about him being a culture vulture, right? We all know this. You can literally tell the difference between like the clear people that do hang out with us black folks and him being a skater and all the extra stuff. And just his swag about himself and how he treats people, he's definitely not down. So I think that he exploited the situation, but it's crazy how these cash apps are starting to go, hey, I really do appreciate that. Absolutely, I will definitely answer all of your questions. Thank you for the super chat. I really, really do appreciate that. Any question that you have, I will definitely take care of you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. So with the Adam 22 situation, the thing is he's an extremely rich person, but he hired a bunch of people. And one thing, he knew that the Cash App thing was happening. So instead of teaching them, hey, you need to set up an EIN number, you need to set up your own LLC, whatever, just in minutes flat, he got rid of everybody. And we already know what that, we already really know what that was. I always take notes. So, then also I'm going to close out what we talked about before. As I said, my show is always a series. And what I mean by a series is I'm going to put some stuff out there that we're looking to do. A lot of people are going to hate on it, and some people are going to love it. But then when we pull the whole program together, and we look back at the past videos and we see what happened. So for example, the individuals that I gave an opportunity to, Ness, for example, Ness turned it into I'm trying to troll to get her over here. I talked about that already. We don't need to rehash it, but that's just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard when I'm trying to put her on a channel that has 983,000 subscribers connected to 3 other channels that'll be simulcast to hers and mine. Also put out there about ODS. I don't know if ODS saw the live. I'm not quite sure. But I have a lot of hope in him as well, but we'll figure that out as we go. So I do have some visual aids that we're going to take a look at, but I really want to talk first about the trend of quiet quitting. Okay, so Generation Z has come up with a lot of loopholes. So what silent quitting is basically going to work and only doing the minimum. If if it's not in your job description, they're not going to do it. Okay. And literally they come in at 5 o'clock and they leave at 9 o'clock. And people will really, really give them extra duties to do. And I swear on everything, they will literally pull out their job description and say, no, I'm not supposed to be doing that. I'm not supposed to be doing this. I'm not supposed to be doing this. And what they're doing is they're using like protected groups. So, minorities, LGBTQIA, disabled, things like that. They're using protective groups, and literally they just sit there at their desks and whatnot. And we're going to take a look at a visual aid on that, and then I'm going to break it down a little bit. So this is the first thing that we're going to take a look at. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. So this gentleman's going to talk to us about what silent quitting is. Just pay attention because I will break it down in just a little bit. Sounds like your job. Yeah, I mean, it could be. How you doing, Buddha Bell? Appreciate you being here. And if I miss hollering at anybody, it's a situation where I get through the information. I'm really, really trying to help people because I've seen like this person put the Cash App in their homeboy's account, their homegirl's account, or whatever. And since Doge is really going after people, like we said before, they're making that money laundering. So not only does YouTube come in and say, YouTube doesn't strike. YouTube comes in and says, boom, hey, your channel's got to go. Any of your earnings got to go. And we're going to take all of your videos down that you got a super chat, a super sticker, whatever. So let's listen real quick to a quick explanation about silent quitting. None of the visual aids that I'm going to put up today, I promise, aren't going to be boring. We're just going to look at a couple minutes of it to get a context of what I'm talking about. Okay. Today is content day. If I shut this off and come back in an hour or so, I do have some things to say to people that are a little bit more, YouTube crazy or whatever. But let's go ahead and listen to what silent quitting is. All right, let's go. What?
It's the opposite of hustle culture. Okay, before, for many years, in the past, hustle culture was in and people were getting to work early and they were staying late and they were putting in all these hours and their life became their job and it was just go, go, go. And they were chasing promotions and raises and it was all about the job. Quiet quitting is the exact opposite. You come to work maybe like a minute before you got to clock in. You do just enough to not get in trouble. You leave at exactly 5 o'clock. 5:01, you're already in the car down the road. And you basically do just enough to get by and not get fired. Basically, it's like your body is physically at the job. You're physically coming, clocking in, and doing your job, but you're mentally checked out. So
Let's
that leads to
go.
the question, why are so many people quietly quitting? Why is this becoming a phenomenon? Why are so many people mentally checking out of their jobs? Now, me personally, I think it is the second phase of the Great Resignation. Okay, phase one, all the people who could quit, quit. All the people who could quit their jobs in the Great Resignation quit their jobs. Either they quit their job to go just sit at the house and watch Netflix all day, or they quit their job to find a better job. But all the people who could quit, quit. In phase two, the people who, for whatever reason, could not quit, they got responsibilities, they got bills, they got kids, maybe they really need the benefits. A lot of these people who could not quit and still cannot quit their jobs are quietly quitting.
Okay, so basically, what what quiet quitting led to is corporate companies are really starting to dig into the information because they have everything. They have your social security number, they got your birth date, they got your address, they got everything. So what started happening with these cash apps is first Doge. As I keep saying, like the more you start going after the government, which we're going to see in just a second here, the more they go after the little guys. Sorry, the content is redundant. I hate to repeat myself. My bad. I just want to make sure I get these points in order. So, what the companies are starting to do to combat this silent quitting is they're starting to do audits and investigations. Now, a lot of those audits and investigations, the first thing that has been targeted is CashApp. Okay. The reason why CashApp has been targeted is because when you take these jobs, you sign NDAs, you sign contracts, you sign all kinds of stuff where you're not going to do anything conflict of interest. But you know what? Then people come on YouTube and they start talking about controversial issues. They start doing crazy TikTok videos. They start doing stuff that may deem, bad PR for the company, right? So really, really what's being done is companies are starting to audit their employees to see if they have a side hustle, right? Okay, cool. Now, now the reason why people can't do it correctly is now Cash App cannot be used as a bank account. It doesn't even matter if you set it up as a business account. Cash App, as of right this second, can only be connected to an EIN that is registered on a yearly basis with the Treasury Department, that actually goes through the steps of hiring, having a business plan, having meeting minutes, and things like that, and turning them in for your annual report. The only way you're not going to get your Cash App shut down just immediately is actually going through and doing the system. But unfortunately, a lot of people are like, hey, hey, my neighbor or whatever, man, here's my Cash App, whoop-de-whoop. You know why that gets worse? You know why that even gets worse? Everybody you try to do, that little side hustle or whatever, and then, take their little percentage and hit your Cash App back. It's almost like food stamps. It's almost like 50 cents on the dollar. You go to the damn grocery store, you run my card and you give me, a half of the money or whatever. So what that turns into is money laundering. Okay. So money laundering is when you take some money and you put it in someone's hands and then they rip it back into something else. They might have a nail shop, they might have a whatever, but then they rip it back to you and it doesn't go on their annual report, and then you get taxed. So one of the things that we're going to listen to is we're going to listen to a situation where um a couple people are talking about, the first one talks about their cash app getting frozen all of a sudden, and then the second one's going to talk about how you shouldn't use cash app as your bank account. Okay, and then and the third video is going to give you an example of if this happens to you on cash app. They won't help you at all whatsoever. You can't call and talk to anybody, nobody cares. That's the situation. So here we go. All right. This is a situation where this woman had Cash App frozen just out of nowhere. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. All right.
Y'all take y'all money out of Cash App. The other day I checked my account. I'm trying to send my daughter some money for lunch. Can't even send it. Mind you, account got thousands of dollars in it.
No, God, please, no, no.
All right, I'm trying to cash the money that's in the account out to another account. It's saying like, oh, you can't do it unless you've had a card linked up to this account before, in which I didn't. Okay, so I called him. I verified myself. I'm like, okay, you know what's going on? You just violated terms and conditions, but we can't tell you what terms and conditions. Okay, so what is my option? Oh, your only option is to appeal. Okay, so what exactly am I appealing? They can't tell me exactly what I'm appealing. I asked them, okay, so if I appeal and I lose the appeal, what's gonna happen? Your account stay closed. Y'all, I swear to God, what I log out, log back in, and it say the account not found.
Still, to this day, I don't understand why anybody would want to keep any of their money inside of Cash App. Put your money in a bank or a large credit union. Tell me what you think in the comments.
Y'all take your money.
All right. So there's an individual there. Hey, what's up, Tori? What's up, Queen of Swords? Appreciate you being here. So that's an example of waking up in the morning and all of a sudden you don't have a Cash App, right? Okay, cool. Let's watch another situation where a woman actually was also underscoring the fact that you should not use Cash App as a bank account. And then we're going to watch an actual situation where Cash App wouldn't help an individual no matter what he said, but he had thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars stolen from his Cash App. But what they assume that he was doing is this money laundering thing. So when you start seeing people's Cash Apps like ABC, baseball, whatever, or ZMB cat $ZMB YouTube or whatever. The problem is every time they change them, Cash App knows that you didn't go through the time to set up these EINs or anything else. And I'm going to teach you all how to do that in the fastest way I possibly can, because I already know where this content is going, right? And then we're going to get into a little bit about, I'm going to play a little clip about how, the top 1% of society who is in these hedge funds and all this other stuff. Why the outrage? Because the stock market is closing, but really it's not closing because of Cash Apps and side hustles. It's closing because the power struggle that we're having with the person that we vote for, or the person that a lot of us vote for, including me, this guy. This guy. This guy right here is tripping. But anyway, okay, cool. We're gonna let him go chill for a minute. We'll bring him up later. But anyway, all right, let's go into an individual actually saying like, don't use this as a bank account, so on and so forth. We'll go into that, and then we'll roll right into the individual situation where he couldn't get anything back. I know I already played her. Okay, cool. All right, so let's go through a situation where the reason why Cash App wouldn't help this guy is because it wasn't like, oh yeah, these three things over here in my account. Like you can go to the bank or you can go to your credit card or whatever and say, I don't recognize these charges. I want to dispute them. But as of right now, let's say that we do the YouTube I'm drunk thing or whatever, and you say, and someone requests money, right? Instead of clicking it, you think that it's a cent Cash App, but then all of a sudden this money request is actually, you hit it and then boom, $1,000 goes over there. So Cash App, even though you have a valid reason to, even though you might have a valid reason to dispute something, here's what happens because they're assuming that it's a scam. So watch from the beginning how much money they got taken out, how hard it was for them to reach Cash App. And Cash App actually told them to go through their account and reach out to every single person that sent the money. Like if somebody sends you Cash App, they're just gonna freaking refund you. This is crazy, right? Okay, let's look at this real quick, and then we'll move on to Adam 22, because the Adam 22 thing is, I'm sorry, it's going to be a little militant, like I get, but hey, we'll talk about it. Okay, this individual reached out to Cash App. You see this money, 1350, 1350, 1300, whatever. This is all the money that they are down right now. Okay, and this is exactly how Cash App treated them. Let's go.
Of between $1,000 and $2,000 each time.
The charges
8 charges within the past 2 days.
totaling $10,000.
Within like 5 minutes of each other, boom, 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 it's just gone before you can even stop it or unlink your card.
The money was sent to people the couple don't know.
It looks like a real person. There's a picture with the account and a real name.
They tried to contact Cash App immediately.
You try to reach out to them with a phone number because you're panicking.
According to the company's website, there isn't a number available to speak to a customer service agent.
And they're like, we don't talk to people on the phone. And it's like, okay, well, we need to talk to somebody immediately. This is serious. And so you just have to send them an email and then sit there and wait.
Sackett says eventually Cash App told them to contact the people the money was sent to and ask for the funds back.
Because we don't know these people, and so they're not listening to us.
They contacted their credit union, canceled the card, and filed a formal fraudulent complaint.
They were able to get us our money back. But the frustrating part is, I would imagine, I don't know how this all works, but I imagine Lake Michigan Credit Union is now having to fight with Cash App through the fraud department to get the money, and it's, in my opinion, not fair to them.
They unlinked their bank account from the app, and somehow it was hacked again.
They uploaded somebody else's card to our account and then hacked that person's card on our account. So now it looks like my wife is stealing money from people. And so now we're associated with fraudulent activity.
Sackett is urging everyone to delete their bank account from Cash App, delete their Cash App account, and then delete the app from the phone.
I don't want this to happen to other people because it's been a nightmare.
In Grand Rapids, I'm Nina DeSaro, 13 on your side.
All right, so let's talk about that real quick. Hey, TG, thank you for coming in the building. Appreciate it. Okay, so these individuals, I have no idea, like if they got $1,300 to send or to, you know, have transactions with people on a regular basis. I don't understand what happened to them, but let me tell you how this works, right? So my Cash App is connected directly through my American Express. The reason why it's connected to my American Express is because when you call Amex and say this happened, Amex just like that says, we got it. Don't even think about it. We're going to take care of it. Whoop-de-whoop, whatever, right? And if you have, I'm trying to tell you this, right? Yeah, people might have marginal credit, but if you do, at least go to a credit union, at least go to a bank, at least go to somewhere that will allow you to open up an account. Okay. Now, if you have like subpar credit or whatever, when you go to open up an account, all you have to do is take money out of your Cash App, and any money down to a bank, they're going to open up an account. So I really want people to take out, hey, Tammy Marie, what's going on? Big Callie, I appreciate you being here. As always, Tammy Marie, hello. So set up some kind of account. If you got $8,000 in your Cash App, take half of it out and go to the bank and say, boom, because then guess what? The FDIC insures up to $100,000 in anyone's account, or get a good credit card that has great customer service that is going to help you out if you get into this type of situation. Okay. So if anybody has any questions, concerns, hey, Molly, what's good? Let's see. Some people hate it when I stop to say what's up to people. TG, what's good? Not fair to the bank. Shake my head. The bank will be okay. Yeah, the bank will definitely be okay. It's crazy. I can't even believe that man said that, to be honest with you, right? Okay, so let's cruise right into Adam 22, okay? All right, so Adam 22, he's coming out here with a PR move. He just went on Vlad to try to defend himself. And we all know Adam 22, no jumper. In my opinion, he was a huge culture vulture, and he exploited our race, just like a lot of other people do, for content. Right? Brought the rappers in there, brought the fights, brought the idiocity, whatever the case may be, for content. But Adam 22 has an investment portfolio that is ridiculous. Now, he claims that the building that he has cost him $3.2 million, and then they got to go ahead and, sell it. And all the employees got laid off. But if you know that that's coming, hey, dirty wife beater, appreciate you being here, man. Just trying to definitely give you guys some good information. Not only do I want to give you guys some good information right now to try to help, but I also make a blueprint. My channel is a series. So if something happens like on the YouTube streets or whatever, we're going to cover it. If something happens, whatever, it's more of a reporter. We're going to cover it. Because guess what? If people don't listen to it and they come and they mess up their stuff, like for example, me being homegrown and offering YouTubers opportunities to interview folks, once I find the right person to interview folks and they see that it was syndicated and they see that and I show it on my channel, we're going to be able to go back and see the situation where they thought I was trolling. I am a troll. I troll crazy. But when I talk about finances, and especially when I put in my description, hey, I'm going to be talking about serious things like finances or whatever, I'm not trolling today. That means listen, okay? Because I'm kind of successful. We'll just say that. I'm no gazillionaire or whatever, but and I told them that I'm going to put their channel on my website so that they get Google ranked rather than YouTube ranked. But anyway, all right. So let's go over here's what I would like to do. I want you guys to see how like the hedge fund people, the people who were joining the right fraternities. I said yesterday that look in the black neighborhood and look who owns the corner store, the gas station, the whatever, that comes in, gets the money, which is financial illiteracy for our people, comes in, gets the money, goes out to the suburbs, educates their children, puts them in private school, puts them in Ivy League, puts them in the right fraternity, hooks them up with a hedge fund, and then poof, they're fine. Senators and stuff only make like $160,000 a year, but they're multi millionaires, hundreds of millions of dollars. Like you got to make that make sense. And that's why everybody's after Elon Musk, because Doge is trying to get into, some of those things. That's been a whole lot of money laundering. So I really want to look at for just a second, the clear people, which you need to look around the room and kind of see who's there and who's not there. They're starting to complain. Okay. So this will be quick as well. And as I said, then we'll move into Adam 22. I know I already called him a culture vulture and complained about him a little bit so far, but we're going to continue. Okay. We're going to take a look at these people, and all this is smoke and mirrors. We know politician is smoke and mirrors, but as of right now, people are getting fired and stuff. So here's the outrage. Let's go.
Could you give us some examples of how this is happening?
God, yeah. So when you think about what happened during the pandemic, $1 trillion was stolen. 70% of that money went overseas. And I can give you some examples. In a Western state, they had more people applying for unemployment insurance benefits than they had individuals over 18. The people that were stealing the money from Romania were using it to facilitate other fraud schemes that include fentanyl, that include doing things to impact our democracy. On the insider threat, right, the first thing you have to say, and my dad was a public servant, is 99% of people that work in the public sector are honest, hardworking individuals. But there are some, and what you need is data and technology to root that out. There were examples during the pandemic. There were some examples even of last week where people got into the Medicaid system in a Western state and stole $50 million in less than 4 months. So you have to have these controls in place, right? These aren't individuals stealing, Mr. Cloud. These are organized criminal groups, both domestic and transnational.
So basically, when they say organized group, transit international, what they're really talking about is themselves. Okay. They find a really good person that writes amazing speeches to tell them what to say to kind of, slide under the radar enough and just admit what they can. But now these people are scrambling and gambling, as we also say, bouncing and turning in my sector. And it's really crazy. And the people that you're seeing right now, all of a sudden they're flipping the table. Did you hear Buddy talking about, oh, it's insider trading, there's fraud, there's this, there's that? But I guarantee you, he knows. I guarantee you, he's been in the little private room in the restaurant, sitting there talking about how they were gonna get over people. You know what I'm saying? So now, so far up to this point, we went through the Cash App, we went through this, we went through that. Now, please, for your own research, and if you ever have questions for me, usually they'll be in the members only lives, because basically I don't believe in giving nothing to the members. The last members live, it was crazy. It had information I'll never put out into the public. Now, I don't want people to think I peddle memberships. I'll definitely let the public know everything that I could possibly do. But there's some things I don't want to say to people that aren't like true supporters. The damn membership's like $4. So, you can pay what you call it. You can play, or you can pay Xfinity, or you can pay content creators, not necessarily even me. Join anybody's membership. Okay. So we've gone this far, right? So we've talked about that. What you need to do is very, very simple. Okay. First, go into a log and see if your company is available. Okay. Go into your domains, go into a domain finder and see if a domain is ready. Get your actual domain. When you send out emails, it's a dead giveaway when you say CEO YouTube channel, insert here at gmail.com. Really? Like, when you're trying to get promotions, when you're trying to get endorsements, when you're trying to get people to come onto your channel that actually want to spend money to advertise with you and not give YouTube 55%. We're cool with putting people on a platform, buying them down, buying them up, doing this, doing that, and then give YouTube 55% of the damn profit. And here's what happens on YouTube. When you start going to yellow and red, when you have like stupid content with people yelling and screaming every day, they're definitely going to do it here. I promise you. Like, that's where I come from. I'm not going to forget my roots. But at the same time, YouTube's like, nope, 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 nope. Yellow, red, yellow, red, yellow, red. These people never see a green money sign. So YouTube starts taking you down from 55% to 35% to 20%, and basically you're here for free. And then if you do it the right way, they call it the red check. So YouTube will take you from 55%, 60, all the way up to 75% with bonuses and write-offs for 1099s. A lot of people don't do that, but we don't take it seriously. Like, we go from panel to panel to panel to panel to panel to panel to talk about the same stuff over and over again. That's boring as hell. But it's cool. I sit here and I have content when I know I can get 1,000 people in here talking about I slapped the shit out of lemon or something, some clickbait bullshit, right? But it is what it is. Candy's wig. Hey, I was looking at my moderators. I was like, I haven't seen Candy's wig in so long. So glad you're here. You're like a life mod. You were so supportive back in the day, and I really appreciate it. And I see that you still are as well. Let's see. Freezing CashApps. Okay. Ladies, hold on 1 second. All right, let me take this down. All right. So let's go ahead and do the last thing on Adam 22, right? I've kind of prefaced it that, okay, now look at this PR move, and then we can talk about it. It's a PR move. I've been doing PR for 1,000 years. And please tell me, do you believe this individual that employed all of these black people to bring in rappers and this and that and figures and didn't do a damn thing, laid them off, didn't set them up with any kind of plan? But this dude has millions and millions of dollars worth of a portfolio that he invests in, but he invests with his people when he could have said, hey, yeah, we need to go ahead and do like a temporary layoff. He should have done a furlough. If y'all know the difference between a layoff and a furlough, you get it. A layoff is we'll never see you again. A furlough is let us get back on our feet or whatever, and you're guaranteed to at least get that job. And if that job is not available, then you're guaranteed to get a job that is at least at that level. It's kind of like FMLA. Okay. So let's listen to Adam 22. I want to see if you all agree with this. What's up, Ava? Appreciate you being here. Let's watch this BS. Oh, I can't say it's BS because I said I'm going to see if y'all believe it. Let's go.
I know that might sound crazy. Between both of our YouTube channels last month, we got over 25 million views. So there's something that I've been hiding from you guys. No Jumper is going broke. I know that might sound crazy. Between both of our YouTube channels last month, we got over 25 million views. We're doing well on Facebook and Snapchat. We employ quite a few of the hottest content creators on the West Coast, and we pump out an insane amount of content on a weekly basis. How could we be going broke? Well, let's start here. We expanded too much during COVID at just about the exact moment that our revenue streams all took a hit. We hired a whole bunch of editors and other employees, and we bought a huge office building that cost us almost $4 million. So there's something that I've been hiding from you guys. No Jumper is going broke. I know that might sound crazy. Between both of our YouTube channels last month, we got over 25 million views. We're doing well on Facebook and Snapchat. We employ quite a few of the hottest content creators on the West Coast, and we pump out an insane amount of content on a weekly basis. How could we be going broke? Well, let's start here. We expanded too much during COVID at just about the exact moment that our...
Okay. I don't want to hear that again. Okay. So basically, did you like kind of listen to what he said? So he bought too much office equipment. He hired too many employees or whatever. Do you know how many security guards he hired because he wasn't comfortable with being around the people that he brought in to interview? Do you understand, as I said, his portfolio is millions and millions and millions of dollars. So if you respected somebody enough to hire them, then why not support them? And we all remember, and we all know why, right? Okay, so that's that situation. But here's the deal. If you go in with privilege, right? Oh, yeah, I'm cool with rappers. I'm cool with gangsters. I'm cool with so-and-so, such and such. If you go in with that mindset, then you have absolutely zero intention to actually work with these people and help them. You got Sharp out here. You got AD. You got, well, MacWap TV wasn't a part of it, but it was kind of an adjacent or whatnot. And unfortunately, like because of the platform that Adam pays to get into the algorithm, unfortunately, their algorithm is nowhere close to what Adam 22 could provide. Okay, cool. Candy's Wig, I really do appreciate it. As I said, thank you for the super chat, and I am so glad that you're back. I missed you, Candy's Wig. Every time I went through my moderators and stuff like that, I was like, where's she been or whatever, right? Okay, so what can we do about this, right? What can we do about this situation, right? Okay, so it doesn't take long. Go into go find a company. Damon John has a company who started Fubu and is on damn, what was that show? Anyway, this show that you present your stuff and they see if they want to invest in it or not. What the hell was it called? I don't know, whatever. He's got that. Damon John is helping black businesses get their EIN number together, their meeting minutes, that file with the Treasury, get bank loans. And do you understand? I want to tell y'all one more thing, right? What I really want to tell you all is this. We talk about reparations, okay? We talk about reparations. We talk about being depressed or suppressed and all that other stuff. But what the government doesn't tell you, and most of us won't tell each other, is they take a bulk of money and they set it aside in the Treasury Department, and they call it government set-asides for veteran-owned small businesses, woman-owned small business, and minority-owned small businesses. And you know who takes advantage of that the most? Asians, Indians, Hispanics, or whatnot. You know who takes advantage of it the least? Us, black people. It's crazy, and as I said, I'll never alienate the clear people, because if you do what the hell you're supposed to do, I'm not saying they're all amazing or whatever, but if you do what you're supposed to do, and they pretty much run 90+% of the hedge funds, and that's exactly why they're pushing Congress to get themselves together, because they give them 20, 30, 40 million dollars for their campaign. And right now, since, as I said, Elon Musk and Tesla, whatnot's being attacked, they have an agenda when they give those $30 million. We want EV cars, we want this, and then when Trump goes in there and puts 100% tariffs and goes after the cartel and stuff like that, and puts Elon in charge of Doge, we're in a bad space there, right? Okay, so damn. Oh. So go into a system like Damon John, you get a book about, and what that book has in it is from the start of your business to the end of your business, right? And there's a very, very important reason why they do that. Yeah, it's about compliance, right? Okay, cool. You got to file your taxes. Now, everything that I have, people think I'm rich, but that golf cart out there, this house, my office in Chicago, whatever, I don't pay a car payment. I don't pay for my office. I don't pay much at all whatsoever. You know why? My car is a company vehicle. My office is a means for me to make income. These clothes right here are a means for me to come onto YouTube and do what I do. So by the time I buy all of these things, it gets written off and I have no bills. Because guess what? Also, I can't sit in here and do a show with these lights and stuff on here because I need heat. So utilities. So what the government does is they do not tell you that these set asides are available because they know we're not going to tell each other. Because what is the misnomer that people say when they talk about the miseducation and HBCUs? They go after them and the fact that we can't organize ourselves. You know what they say? They say the easiest way to hide something from a black person is put it in a book. Like, I don't know much how many more context clues you need. So please go. Okay, I'm gonna make it super simple for you. Hell with the EIN or whatever. Go into Google and look at grants. Okay, there'll be a $20,000 grant, $100,000 grant, a $500 grant, and whatever. So when you go get these grants, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, and you can use everything like a write-off, like this outfit right here, you have to be in business for a certain amount of years, billing it against your LLC to actually get these grants. So it'll say grant one needed to be in business for 12 months, making X amount of income. Hey, grant number two, you had to be in business for 18 months to get these things, and blah, 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 blah. The reason why the government does it is because when we get together and we think like Republicans are racist and all these propaganda or whatever the case may be, you know what they can say? What are you talking about reparations? What are you talking about us giving Indians their own reservations and land? What are you talking about 40 acres and a mule? What are you talking about this racism and oppression and da 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 da? We have all this money over here for you, but you just haven't asked for it. We have all this money over here as set asides, and that's all they have to say. They don't have to explain themselves. They don't have to justify anything. It is fact. So I'm willing to help, and a lot of my supporters are willing to help. And one of the things I was trying to help with, let's go back to this, I won't mention it again, is helping homegrown content creators, you know, but they think that Man Code Television is like my hustle, like what I'm trying to like, you know, boost myself up to do and things like that. Yes, I really want to build Man Code Television, but you all have seen my website 100,000 times. I'm trying to rank up on Google, real content, and get together. So a couple gems in here. I'm telling you, content creator, we can work together. Having 400 people, 500 people in the chat doesn't mean that you're worldwide, because nobody's going to go on the on Google and type in Mo3 sector or beef sector or manosphere or whatever and find your video. You got to get Google ranked. And then please take the information I gave you also, and I want to look back at this video and I want to see people say, you know what, I really did like set my LLC up to my YouTube channel. And guess what? Now I can legally do 3-4 YouTube channels because my LLC has 3 or 4 DBAs, right? And that's when people invest in you. That's when you get the sponsorships. So when you do a show, it doesn't matter if you have 10 people in it or 1 million people in it. If you get sponsored by whoever that gives you $5,000 to do a show, it's pretty much freaking it's stupid. It's stupid math. People irritate the shit out of me when they come in here and do this. There's so many people with talent, and I just don't get it. And I better shut up about it because I'm gonna get on my soapbox. I'm gonna start calling out names. I'm gonna start doing this and that, and that's not really where I want to go with this episode. All right, let's take Donna Hughes. I appreciate you listening. Absolutely. Official Lovejoy. You're always in here. Hey Noble, what's good? Hey Noble, as I said, I still stand on that. Congratulations, man. As I said, you're not only inspiring yourself, but you're inspiring other people. I want people to know that Noble did graduate from his certification level to pursue his engineering career. And then he's going to go, I believe, associate's bachelor, and he's not going to stop there. He's going to go up to the PhD program. And the really good thing about Noble is there's not going to be a whole lot of other people that are going to want to take that path because it's hard work. It's an investment. It's things like that. So I do want to say to you, Noble, personally, I respect what you do. I'm always going to be behind it. And in one of these episodes, I talk about this content creator should have done this, and here's where they went. Okay, this person should have set up their business. Oh yeah. Before I forget, here's a trick. If you have Nest No Mess or Lemon, whatever that is, and Envy's Lifers or whatever, set your LLC up in your own name, because then you don't have to pay for all these trademarks and insurance to back your name and all this other stuff. Your name is your name. Set your main business up as your name, and then you can do your DBAs after that however you please. Okay, it's just a shortcut. It's going to save you a whole lot of money. If you take the shortcut, fine. If you don't, that's fine as well. Okay. You said, okay, this man with a camper is looking good right now, and I know he has a bathroom and his traffic is on standstill. You know what though, Ed? Why the problem is he probably has a camper and his restroom. Hopefully, he's got it hooked up where it's not draining, because basically, when he starts going about 50 miles an hour and you're behind him and he dumps his restroom, hopefully everything works out. Like, because typically in a camper, it's damn near just one step above the outhouse. Okay. You know what I'm saying? There you go. Thank you, Vibrant. Yeah, www.grants.gov. Find you a grant. And in a members only live, people think I'm peddling that. It's freaking $4 or $3 or whatever it is. If you are willing to go to www.grants.com and you have any particular questions, I'll answer them to the best of my ability. I'll also pull out my huge file. Oh, yeah. The huge file, I forgot to say. It's not only to keep you in compliance, but what happens is these people approach you. Like, Elon Musk bought Twitter for $43 billion, not million, billion. So when you have all of your stuff set up, here was our first meeting minutes. Here was how we got the grants. Here's our annual report. Here's this, here's that. When you can say, here you go, continue on, millions, because they don't have to do anything. They just have to make their next page in their book, and then they just keep it moving, and everything's great. I want each and every one of you people on YouTube to take your videos, make shorts, cut them up as longer videos. You're short from long videos. You'll see after every one of my videos, I make shorts. I make short videos that aren't as long. I do all that. You know why? Because guess what? When they say, you know what? Oh, you also have a YouTube channel that connects to it. Yeah, my YouTube channel is my meeting minutes. My meeting minutes, so I don't have to sit in front of a bunch of people and be fake. Oh, hey, George, how you doing today? Okay, let's talk about a meeting. Oh, yeah, I forgot. This meeting's about the other meeting, and that meeting's about this meeting. And you know what? When you guys get tired of me, you're going to lay me off. No, this is recorded. I always have it, which is going to go along with my notebook, which, you know what they're going to do with this stuff right here? They're going to make modules that you have to sit there and learn how to do the business, whatever, boom, boom, boom. And guess what they're going to do? They're not going to only buy the company, but they're going to come in and they're going to say, hey, Envy, my real name's Marcel. They'll say, hey, Marcel, could you please come in and make sure that we didn't miss anything? So guess how much I'm going to pay them? When I go see a client, you know when they start paying? They start paying when I walk out this door, the one upstairs. When I walk out the door, on my way to the airport, when I get in the plane, when I land, and all that, because you know what I tell them? I say, hey, if you want me to be away from my other clients on your time, I need to be compensated. It just is what it is. You guys waste money. Nonprofits, like, I'm not going to say what nonprofit was, but a nonprofit literally that has 24,000 members. Yes, they're in a professional situation. Let's just pretend like it's a law firm. They have 24,000 members, but they literally just invested $53 million through their board so that they can ramp up their AI plans. Like, how do you think they got the money? Money is not a thing. Okay, it's not a thing. Money's made up. They can print it, throw it around, and whatever. It's not a thing. It's a power. It's to create castes of people. Like, if you know what the caste system was, it went from the lepers all the way to royalty, and that's what money is about. All right, let me make sure that I hit everybody's messages, And we'll go ahead and get out of here for the day. But I'm also going to ask you if you want me to cover anything on YouTube. I can come back in a little bit with a different attitude because y'all know how I can get. If y'all want the F-ish, you want me to go over whatever. Like, I'm going to ask you all at the end of this because I am more than willing to go live again, because usually Tuesday is that yelling and screaming and all that. Like, I got to do that once a week or so, right? Noble said, no doubt, envy, gratitude for the support. The best is yet to come. I've done 3 interviews, one on national syndicated television. It's bigger than me. Right. I'm so glad that you said that, because the last conversation we had via chat was that it is bigger than you. People are watching what you're doing and they're being inspired, right? Because what are people going to say, Noble? Oh, at his age, I thought he was going to retire. I thought he was just going to chill or whatever. Oh, and they're going to make a bunch of excuses. And the excuses that they make for the fact that you are succeeding are the things that they're actually insecure about themselves. So, as I said, they're going to say you're up in the age. Why didn't you do this earlier? They're going to say a bunch of nonsense. It sounds like hater, but they actually think that about themselves. And the fact that me as a reporter, not a content creator, a reporter, I can always refer back to this video. I posted a comment right here on the screen, and I'm going to say, everything that you said and everything that you're insecure about within yourselves. Look, Noble did it. Noble did it. An older black man that was ambitious, went on these shows and things like that. Dude, trust me, I'm going to utilize it, throw it in somebody's face one day, just like this other stuff. Do I think that this video is going to impact a bunch of people to make LLCs? They don't know the difference between an LLC and an incorporation, or the investment, or LLP, or how to connect your DBAs, how to make sure everything's right. So if I'm sitting here telling you this stuff, don't you think that I at least want to have good intentions and I want to help people, right? Cool. And Vibrant, thank you for dropping my website. I really appreciate it. All right. So why are you leaving before goal timer is over? I put the goal timer up there for a longer period of time because I don't want people to think I'm in and out of here. I'm at 57 minutes. I believe the goal timer for super chats is 2 hours, right? I try to give myself a little bit of time because I don't want people to think that I'm just in and out of here. I don't like the content to drag them wrong, because some people say I'm long-winded, but once I start my live and I see people in here and interacting in the chat and the numbers really stay the same compared to the likes, I start getting excited and talking longer. So I gave myself a little extra time. I didn't know if an hour was going to be long enough. And they don't give us an hour and a half. It has to go to 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever. But I definitely feel you. But if you want me to talk about anything else, I absolutely will, because each and every one of my supporters is important to me. Okay. And you put a super chat up there. So, hey, I'm rocking. Dirty White Beater. Envy, I'm very impressed with the live and the information that you have presented. Thank you again, sir. Absolutely, Dirty White Beater. And the cool thing, I love seeing someone like you in here, Dirty White Beater, because we've been through a whole lot of history. And it's funny that you're still Dirty White Beater. For people that don't know, Dirty White Beater is a fun troll. But that Dirty White Beater comes because MHB used to sit in that chair halfway across the room, yelling at a phone that was on the other side of the room. We could barely hear him, and he wore the same wife beater for probably 2 weeks. That dude probably had 2 wife beaters, just like Duke had 3 outfits to go to Dallas. And now we're doing this whole crazy stuff about, dude, shish trish, stop, please stop. Like, I don't care if people think this is insensitive or whatever. I know I'm supposed to be on the professional stuff just ended. Okay, we've closed that unless y'all ask me a question. I gotcha. But Shish Trish comes out and says, "Oh well, due to Duke's stroke, that might really affect Secret Island Vacation." Jesus, Trish, we knew something would, but a stroke. And I know people might think that's insensitive or whatever, but we've known Duke for a long time, and who knows? Tomorrow he can say he owns a private jet. It's just Trish. Anyway, let me chill. Let me calm down. You said when you speak of numbers, are you talking about no. Um oh, and so for the people that don't know what that means, let me go ahead and hook y'all up so we can follow along. All right, let's see here. Hold on. All right, let's go. That's why I didn't say the word. Okay, let's go. Okay. The English geometric calendar is an online calculator for finding the value of a word or a phrase in geometry, but not only also searches the database. Yes. So kind of to put that in layman's terms, they're trigger words. They're trigger words that people use on CRMs, which is customer relation manager, that sends out like automatic buzzwords and whatnot. So yes, I'm not necessarily familiar with that term. That's why I had a little struggle. I'm going to admit sometimes I'm not familiar with certain terms because people use different jargons. One of the things I do for my website is I program the CRM. I use Salesforce. I used to use HubSpot, but I use Salesforce, and you put those trigger words in there to follow the trends, but you can also adopt those trigger words to your client base. So you can put 20 people that want to hear about engineering and whatever buzzwords that go on there. It's kind of like hashtags. You can put these people over here that want to hear about this and that. So if you're asking me about numbers, it probably refers directly to my website, which is SEO, and getting that website to rank up. If I messed up your question, I'm sorry, but that's kind of where I took your question and answered it. You've asked 4 times now. It must get deleted. No, it doesn't get deleted. I was probably just looking somewhere, whatever. I apologize. I would never escape your question on purpose. Did I answer it properly? You want me to go into it just a little bit more? Oh, I asked under comments too. Oh, wow. No, under the comments, I thought under the comments in the description, I thought that you asked me about voter remorse and financial literacy based on voter remorse and the effects of what people thought was going to happen with this new administration. That's what I thought you asked. If I'm wrong, let me know. Kind of like suggesting selling would like fries with that. Are you sure? Are you sure? Because I don't want to be at a space where I kind of ignored your question. Like when I put it into layman's terms with trigger words and things like that, I hope I answer your question. You did that. You did ask that too. Absolutely. Okay. So voter remorse. A lot of people have voter remorse because our homeboy here, you know what I'm saying? All right, let me hang out. Okay. So this dude right here. Okay. So what would you rather? Would you rather a Joe Biden who the whole world laughed at because he can't walk up the stairs, or do you want a strong, powerful businessman that the world looks at and understands that the government is a business, right? Okay. So there's pros and cons. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure because a lot of times chats and stuff get misconstrued, texts get misconstrued. I just wanted to make sure I gave you, what you were looking for, right? Also, filmmakers be subliminal messages for advertisers too. I do a lot of subliminal messages. I do a lot of context clues, just like a McDonald's cheeseburger or whatever, in advertisements, all that is like plastic and glue and all the other stuff, like the propaganda behind like what we see on the media. Because, back in the day, my mom used to call it the dumb box, but the even dumber box is this in apps that you can download onto here. That's really the dumb box. Now kids can't even damn control themselves. So this guy, I'm gonna finish answering your question because you did ask me about voter remorse. So this guy's having a pissing contest with everybody, okay? And what I mean by that is flexing the government, but at the same time is his agenda is a personal agenda as of right now. Now, everybody knows me to be a black Republican, Trump supporter, whatever. But if I had to talk to him face to face right now, I'm like, bruh, it's not for the people, it's for the Trump brand. And I get it. I will always give him props for rebuilding the worst eyesore in New York City, the hotel. He agreed to rebuild that. And he agreed to rebuild like this ice rink and this part of Central Park and this like that. But unfortunately, Mayor Giuliani, who was in the case against Trump, gave him tax exempt status for 30 years, not 5 years, not 10 years. I definitely said 30 years, which is 30. So do voters have remorse? Absolutely. But unfortunately, you have to pick from, how do I say this correctly? All right. I'll give an example. Trump put in a $1 billion grant for the first time he got in office. He put in a $1 billion grant that goes out to HBCUs annually. And one of the first things that Biden got rid of is the $1 billion grant that goes to HBCUs annually. And he did that when he had a vice president who's a black woman that graduated from Howard, who is a sorority member of AKA. So would I believe her and follow her and want her to run stuff? Probably not. And unfortunately, we also have to vote along the lines of the fact that when you go to a lot of different countries, your message and all that other stuff gets it doesn't even compute, because in a lot of other countries, women are second class citizens. So unfortunately, our ability to negotiate and things like that would like go out the window. Now, could we get behind her and rah 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 sis boom bah? I don't know. When's the last time the company got behind black people at all? And then not just black people, black women. So you want a black woman to be the president that the country won't get behind? We just have to take it for what it is. Put her on the advisory board, make her another what is that lady's name? Condoleezza Rice or whatever. Give her a position and everything will be great. Hey Rico, what's going on? Check it out, Envy. And I don't believe her. She is too erratic and she couldn't explain her policy. All she was going off of was people's emotions. Yes, she was going off on people's emotions. You're 100% correct. And that's the worst thing to do in politics, because I don't want my politician to make decisions based on whether they're having a good or a bad day. I understand that the vice president gets overshadowed, just like when look what happened to Pence Look what happened to Pence when he was Trump's vice president. I mean, he threw him under the bus, so I get it. But you're 100% correct, Rico. She was the main DA who was locking up people. Yes, she is, just like our DA in Atlanta. Now, our DA in Atlanta said that she's going to go after all of the gang organizations in the city. But the problem is look how long the YSL case took. What was that like? They had to interview hundreds of jurors and this and that, whatever, just to turn around and try to violate Young Thug's parole for like the dumbest thing ever. So it's all a game, it's money. And it made her look bad because she said that she's going after gangs, and then she feels like he was just, the door just opened and he was let out. It's very okay. So you said Trump does a lot of golfing while the economy is going to hell. Yes, he does. But unfortunately, unfortunately, one of the most irritating things that is relative to your comment, one of the most irritating things to me is when they say that the government's shutting down. I've never heard like I've never heard something. Why don't they just call it PTO? That's what it actually is. Paid time off. Oh, and then they scare us for 3 weeks. Oh, the government's going to shut down. Well, what the hell does that mean? Does that all of a sudden mean that I got to pay any different taxes? No. Does that all of a sudden mean that my life's going to change? No. I can't stand it when that happens. And absolutely, Trump takes advantage of the fact that he does have Mar-a-Lago. Now, on one side of your mouth, you could say, hey, you got Mar-a-Lago, you got these real estate companies, you got Trump on buildings you don't even own and this and that, whatever. But I can't fault him because he's a hustler and he's a businessman. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say that he got it out the mud. But it's kind of weird to me, right? It's like, I know this is going to sound crazy and y'all are going to be like, what the hell? I studied Hitler a lot. Okay. And the reason why I studied Hitler a lot is because he came up with one of the most controversial things ever, but him standing on his own with absolutely nobody backing him at all whatsoever, he was willing to move a nation of people to do the most hideous things. And to be able to be a leader like that, even though it was bad, and they still keep his name alive to today, is it's a whole nother ball game. Something else I could talk about. Also, censorship has her policy just bullshit, and how she claims she is in the streets, but the only time she was active was Biden got sick, bullshit, etc. Shake my head. This is my topic in political. Got it. I studied at the heroes and villains. I get it. They call me the corporate thug sometimes because like I have a balance. I speak many languages, just not out of English. I speak proper, I speak street, I speak country. What else do I speak? I don't know. I'm a chameleon based on who I'm around because I like money, and to be able to network. Business is about relationships. It's not about money. So I have to build relationships with all kinds of people on a daily basis. You said you speak for auto industry. He's doing us first with no Vaseline. Yeah, I mean, yes, absolutely. And he's putting so much pressure on China that they're actually building their own EVs. And it's funny to me that people think that electric vehicles are like environmental friendly. I want people to look up the difference between landfill with gas powered cars that go down. Look at a landfill where gas powered cars go down, and then look at a landfill of all the EV parts and whatnot. You're gonna be almost shocked, almost ashamed at the fact that that is it's worse than for the environment, that the whole emissions that the car helped for the life of the whole vehicle. Let's see. Playing with the why. I voted for Trump in 2016. Actually met him at a rally. I like him because he actually did what he claims he was going to do consistently. And Democrats seem to be like, yes, car salesman. Okay. And this is also for Choctaw. Okay. Since you asked me about it. Okay. So Democrats are Republicans, right? They admit that to themselves. You know why Democrats are Republicans? And this is documented. A lot of Republicans say they're Democrats because it's easier to get the vote of minorities because they're too ignorant to know what's going on, because they're not at the tax bracket level to even have conversation with people to even really know what's going on in the world. When I start seeing buses go through the black community, scoop them up, go get them registered to vote, go around to the polls and basically tell them who they're going to vote for and things like that, round them up, take them back to the black community, not think about them at all again for years, but put a Democrat in power. It just, and they do that because I want somebody to tell me 5 facts. You know what? Not even 5. Tell me 3 facts that makes Democrats so non-racist and Republicans so racist. I've challenged anybody to give me 3 actual documented facts. Okay. And then I'll double your facts. How about that? There's an internet challenge. For every 3 facts you give me that Republicans are racist and Democrats aren't, I'll give you 6 facts to debate your point. Okay. It's irritating. The term was was horrible. It just seemed, I'm disappointed in Trump. I'm disappointed in Trump as well. But the world is going to make Trump pump his brakes. I'll tell you that. Okay. Facts: the Democrats are the racist Republicans in the party for the people. Long to short story. I know. Right wing, left wing, or whatever, doesn't matter. It doesn't. All that matters is where you are in power and who you know. Like, how many people are so unqualified for their job just because they knew the right people? Like, really think about that, right? There's somebody you work with right now that is maybe your manager or whatever, that, damn, some people say they're OCD, so they hate my collar. Hold on. Let me get my life together here. Let me see. All right. Let's all right, let's rock out. That's the best That's the best I can do, y'all. Okay. Let me do the Caucasian thing. Okay. Like I'm going out to play tennis where they put the zipper up to about right there. Okay. Yeah, we're good now. Okay, cool. I believe 2 feathers of the same bird. Yeah. Because most people think out of their right brain and their left brain, and they don't know the difference. So, here's what the government does. They say, hey, here's what we're doing, but over here, we want you to pay attention to this distraction. And you know who I think goes into the Senate, who goes to House of Representatives, especially the president? I do believe in the Illuminati. Like, there's a reason why at Yale University, Skull and Bones is there. There's a reason why Skull and Bones has put Nick Romney, all the Bushes and whatnot into power. So that your analogy is right on point, based on I would say based on privilege. Let's call it privilege. You know, we can't even, you know, HOA will lie their asses off to us when we try to move into a neighborhood, stack so many rules and regulations against us that we don't even live by, just to kind of, you know, devalue the fact that we should probably not be looking in a certain neighborhood. Now, I did see someone put out like the richest black neighborhoods in the world. Like there was a black neighborhood in California or whatever. Me personally, I don't know why we call them black neighborhoods. They're just neighborhoods, first of all. Because as soon as you call something black successful this or black successful that, it gets attacked. Why not just be a successful neighborhood? We don't have to put ourselves in a category that for the most part we don't succeed, because how many successful white neighborhoods are there? So why do we have to point out that we got something successful? I just like, and Black Wall Street got burned down. So let's maybe take a step back and chill a little bit. What Rico say here? Okay, cool. Terms like I feel they come up with different words for people to make them believe that something wrong with people. Yeah, it's deflection. It's a deflection. And the thing is, as I said, I can have a live like this with, you know, a low amount of people in here, but it matters. Trust me. You know how many people you need in a live when you're a YouTuber? I don't want anybody to ever get discouraged looking up here at this live button or whatever, seeing who's live, looking at your stuff afterwards. Because here's the thing. You know how many people you need in your channel? One. Because guess what? That one person can change your life. And every show that you put together as a content creator or a reporter is being watched. And if you don't think that this is a networking, damn near a job interview, you're crazy. Okay. And I mean the subscribers as well. They see y'all's comments, they see how y'all think, this and that. I'm just here. It's y'all's channel. I'm just here, you know. Hey Malik, how you doing, man? Malik, I'm putting out some content today. You know, we're kind of vibing on the Cash App situation. That I didn't go into like ABC 1, 2, 3 is because I don't want to be like the bearer of all the bad news. I don't want to be the guy that says don't put your Cash App in your homeboy's name, whatever. Because here's what happens: the ignorance that people have are going to be like, oh, he's trying to tell on us, put some propaganda together so that, you know, oh, he doesn't like my channel, so he knows that I change my Cash App name every 2 weeks. No, I'm trying to be positive and tell y'all what to do and what not to do. It's very simple, but take it for what it is. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, Rico. What's Rico saying? Yes, Rico, that was unheard. Yeah. This is all you need here. This is actual content. Thank you very much. And the thing is, Rico, I love my replay game, because the thing is people are going to be out doing whatever they do, trying to figure out ghetto intellect and uppity's date or something, which is not a date. They're going out, whatever, or they're going to do, I don't know what they're doing. They're doing something, but the replay game is good. And I'm glad I got this stuff recorded. I have this stuff recorded for a reason. If you want to go along with the series of my show that covers some of the content creation, you know, news, gossip report, whatever, then I go into a teachable moment, and then I cover some stuff. Then I go into a teachable moment, this and that, whatever. So if you can go back and watch my videos and it helps people get ahead and whatnot, it's cool. And unfortunately, YouTube a little bit is starting to shadow ban me just a little bit, because I got a couple red ineligible videos, and then I got a couple videos in yellow because we're doing crazy stuff. So a lot of people aren't getting notifications and things like that. But hey, you know what? It's recorded. Come back, enjoy it. on your leisure time, because yes, I am trying to bring content. I'm doing my best. And as I said, yes, am I going to be on the F-ish? Absolutely. But hey, I got to get this out here. I won't be able to live with myself. My mentor told me one major thing that stuck with me forever. My mentor said, the best way that you can thank me for everything that I taught you and did for you is to help the next person. I want the next person to feel the gratitude that you feel for the million times that you've thanked me. I want some other people to feel that way as well. Okay, cool. Been watching, good stuff, champ. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You know, it gets old to like just, you know, I hear people all the time say it's the same stuff, different characters, and they're tired of it, you know. But see, this right here, not only am I going to talk to the beef sector, the moultrie sector, the manosphere, whatever, this is going to bring brand new people around that actually like can help us. It might bring your lawyers, your doctors, your people with a trade, your barbers, your plumbers, your whatever. We can all get together, and there's going to be some people eventually that really, really want to dig into this content, join the panel, and say, I can almost guarantee you that people are going to join this panel in the future and be like, damn, I just got done setting up my LLC. And my LLC's been around for 25 years. If anybody wants to put their DBA under my LLC, they get the same credit for being around for 25 years. Like literally, if someone's willing to take their LLC and you can put your YouTube name in one of their DBAs, you are immediately eligible for grants and things like that because you're actually under like a branch of the tree that's already been established. You get those great, you know what? Let's say somebody is a builder, right? And that person that let's say somebody's a builder and that builder says, I really want to help you do your DBA for your plumbing company. Guess what that person's going to do then? They're going to hire every time they build a house and do that stuff. They're going to hire your plumbing company to do all the plumbing company under the plumber that gave you your DBA that you're going to give 4% to. But the 4% doesn't matter because you're working for yourself as a sole proprietor. And if you know how to if you know how to do all your write-offs and your business plans and get the grants and things like that, it's like it doesn't matter. Like that person didn't overspend on you. You didn't take a loss. You actually took a gain. So also look in that as well. And I said, a lot of people won't that we run around these sectors with, but hey, it's recorded. The information is out here. I'm willing to give anybody some advice that I could possibly give. You either love me, you either hate me, you either believe me or you don't. But I'm here to help. All right. I promise not to speak too much on my conspiracy realist stance. No, I actually love the conspiracy realist stance because once I get into this content and people start enjoying it, I'm definitely going to talk about the conspiracies and whatnot. It's cool. Trust me. My conspiracy is why do they have their meeting, you know, across the why do world leaders have their meeting once a year and we're at war blowing up each other? Why do the world leaders have their meeting every year to plan out what's going to happen in the whole world? So all the conspiracies, you got the Elks, you got the Moose, you got Skull and Bones, you got the Masons, you got it's all married into, why do you think they call it secrets? And why do you think they say that the secrets are going to open your eyes to understand what's really going on in the world? Why do you think they say that? It's because it's not for everybody. Because you know what? The funny thing is if this information was for everybody, then they would have to share a piece of the pie. Okay? It's very simple. So, as I said, we went over many things. Please get your Cash App in order. Please get your EIN number. Please get an LLC. Please get a domain where you actually send out professional emails. Please clean up your content. If you want to have F-ish over here, cool. Make that episode, put it in the playlist. If you want to have teachable moments, your business, market what you're doing, maybe put that over there into some other stuff. So I really do appreciate, more than y'all know, I really do appreciate you all coming through. When I talk about stuff like this, I know that you all came through for me. And as I said, the best thing that you can do for my channel is to comment below the description of this video. Comment below the description of any video, any short, anything. Just comment there and say, I was interested in this. That was, you talked about that a little too long. I have some further questions. On your next video, can you bring up a few things that you went over? Oh, I didn't understand like how to set up the DBAs. Should I do an incorporation, LLC or LLP? Put your comments below the description. I will answer you back with usually a brief answer, and then we can talk about it. Just like hopefully I covered some of the things that you asked me below the description. I know you were talking about political and whatnot, so and I promised to do that for you. So hopefully I at least touched on some things that you're looking for in my content. So again, thank you so much. I'm gonna hit the YouTube streets just like the rest of y'all. It's only 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So I would imagine, based on me going out to platforms and my supporters just shoot a message in the chat, I would totally imagine that I'm gonna come back. I might do a night live. We'll see. But if not, you know, we're gonna be here every day, Sunday. Or wait, every day, Monday through Saturday is 7 o'clock on whatever the content's about. Sometimes it's going to be messy or whatever. But then on Sundays, at 7 o'clock every Sunday, we have members only lives. The last members only live that I really wanted people to pay attention to is there's some lyrics that I cannot get past that Mo3 put out there. There is no way. I've listened to it 100,000 times. I tried to make an excuse for it. I tried to put it in a different context. And Paulette Waters actually brought it up when we were talking about the Mo3 sector. But I really want you to hear these lyrics because I just can't get past some of what he said, but I just couldn't put it out here in public. So my goal is for a lot of people to be a member, but at the same time, I'm not going to push it too hard because my members are actually supporters that want to hear certain information. And if there's too many members, I don't want moles. I don't want people that are going to take the information and run with it in the wrong direction, because it is definitely a little bit as confidential as I could possibly make YouTube. So I really do appreciate y'all. We're going to get out of here with a polar clip. And as I said, I'll see you in the YouTube streets. Thank you for coming by. I will bring the content as I possibly can, and let's grow together. Thank you very much.
The impact I had on the sector, or whatever y'all want to call it, that was just me being me. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? People ran with it. I pay homage to them. I salute them. I love everybody to death. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not on this bitch looking for kumbaya. Y'all not on this looking for no clout, none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm saying I still get paid well. You know what I'm saying? And I got paid well. You know what I'm saying? For what I did. You know what I'm saying? Can you say the same thing? Can you say the same thing? You know what I'm saying? and I'll still be on this bitch 10 years from now, still getting paid. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying, while motherfuckers on this bitch arguing and cutting people's throat, you know what I'm saying, trying to get monetized.
Real content. Stop cutting people's throat just to get monetized, and let's build together. I'll holler at y'all. Thank you.